Mary Rose Hoya here from Expert Profit Engine, where we help business owners who are serious about profiting even more from their expertise and faster. So, high-end sales and marketing is all about psychology. The EPE method is all about using a psychological approach to access and close high-paying prospects. And what that means is fishing where the fish are, physically and mentally. So to access executive level and high-paying prospects, today I'm going to share with you 4 concrete practical strategies of how this works using the EPE method. So grab a pen because we're going to be deep diving in here now, and here we go. Okay, so strategy number 1, when to approach rollout of a major change. And how do you do it? Exploit poor change management. And here are 2 examples of a major change. The first is mergers and acquisitions. So say you have a large conservative firm that has acquired an external creative agency, and you should know that many large, say, management consulting firms and tech and kind of more cerebral firms, if you like, are looking outside their organizations in order to innovate their business, as they have the internal operations and they have the finances and they have the infrastructure, but they may lack the internal creativity and the kind of fast action that's needed in order to stay abreast of next level marketing and solutions that their clients are asking for. So what happens is they invest in external operations that can provide these things for them. Now the thing is that these external operations can often have an entirely different culture, a different way of being, and so what happens is you get a clash, and kind of almost like an underclass developing. And over time, if this isn't handled properly, the whole investment can fail. So this is the chink in the armor for you to enter, because your prospects here are psychologically in a place that is urgent, widespread, and expensive for them. And so here you would make contacts with, say, the newly acquired agency, look at lower level staff, and you're really aiming to find out how the rollout is working at the grassroots level. So now you have true business intelligence and a relevant anchor point to contact them and to get into the higher levels. And that is what we at EPE World call the third-party principle, where you anchor a mutual introduction to high-level leadership, to high-level leaders on this organizational change. And what happens here is that this makes you very relevant. It turbo boosts your relationships into high-paying and leadership level networks to a familiar and intimate level. And you are attached to a widespread problem that is costing them money. Now note, what you are doing is actually attaching yourself, your name, your point of contact to money. And what this does is essentially what I call monetize yourself and your value in their world. And that is what you need to be doing to pivot your relationships and your deals. And example number 2 is when there is, say, a digital shift in an organization. So an example would be where HQ insists that staff start using iPads instead of laptops. And now that can be a really unwelcome change in an organization. And it can cause a lot of stress at really widespread levels. That affects productivity, it affects sales, and it can affect talent retention over time. Now, an example of an approach here using the EPE method would be to make contacts using the people who are at the operative level and in the field and are directly affected and living with this change. And so again, you're looking to see how the change is affecting them at the grassroots level. Who is complaining? Who is struggling? And again, using the third-party principle, you would anchor a mutual introduction to a high-level leadership level on this change. Supremely effective way of bypassing a poor or kind of hacked together introduction. Strategy number 2, when to approach would be when you have new business or relevant information for your target. And how you do it is to use LinkedIn, amazing tool. So here are a couple of examples here. And the first one is to message a mutual contact saying that you have some information or a business lead to give the person you want to contact, and that you would value their insights here. Now, this is an embedded compliment, an authentic, of course. And now here comes the magic. You end the message with, would you have time for a quick chat? Now, in my world, 99% of people will say, sure, call me. And here's the bonus, they'll likely give you their mobile number, which is awesome for texting and really being in their world at a very private level. So then you get them on the phone, you touch base with them, and there are a few more key ingredients here that we'll be talking about later on. And you go through the info or the lead that you have, and you ask your mutual contact for an introduction anchored on this information or lead. And now what this does is it builds intrigue and a sense of urgency, and you become very relevant. And the second example here is to write a short how-to article on LinkedIn that will be of benefit to them. You post it, and then you look at the LinkedIn profile of your high-level prospects and their mutual contacts, and do know that looking at someone's LinkedIn profile is a fantastic and fast way to get them to look at yours. Now, either message them directly, anchored on your post, or ask a mutual contact to introduce you. Bingo! And strategy number 3, when to approach would be executive level career shifts. So watch LinkedIn for increased activity from interesting people. Now, this often indicates a career shift. So you're always looking, where are they going? Where's the puck going? So help them, like, comment, share what they do, offer to interview them for an article that you are doing. Now, what this does is it gives them positive exposure, and you get exposure to people who will read your article to see them. And this transfers trust to you. It makes you a person of value. It gives people the perception that you are larger than you might be. And so you introduce them to recruiters, to leads, to someone who can help them. So you help them with their next career move. And the high-end sales way to think about this is really like we're looking at what is it that's overwhelming them? What is keeping them awake at 3 a.m.? And this is sheer gold. And so magical number 4, strategy number 4, when to approach. When people who influence your prospects are in the news. So share articles and features on contacts who influence your VIPs. And LinkedIn and Twitter are great platforms here because at the senior levels, a lot of people really see these platforms as being a bit more professional, and this is where policymakers, journalists, our key discussions are. And what happens here is they get positive exposure. You get exposure to people who read your article to see them, offer to interview your influencers, your present clients, your past clients for an article that you are doing, and you tag them in the article and in the comment section. Now, what this does, again, is it transfers trust to you and can give the perception of being active and larger than you might be. So leverage your influencer's audience. Now, know that audiences and relationships are major currencies right now and moving into 2020. And a pro tip here is to focus on rising stars because they are active and a lot of people are watching them. Focus on influential mutual contacts that have large networks because you want to be hanging around with others who are running a little faster than you are. So these are 4 realistic ways that you can put into action right now, this week. And using these strategies makes you go so much faster and reach higher and look with a lot less work. So do try this out. And if you are struggling to gain traction in a new network, or to access high-paying clients or landing bigger, better deals, do head over to expertprofitengine.com and download our free guide there on how to package, price, promote, and sell your expertise at higher profit. And come on, let's get your expertise really making a lot more profit for you. Again, my name is Mary Rose Hoya from Expert Profit Engine, and I will see you next time.